All right, hello guys. I am back. Hole number 3 of the St. Paddy's tournament. And one of the things that you want to focus on here is definitely accuracy, but you also need some distance on top of that accuracy. So you see me setting up with a Titan ball. That's foremost what you want to do. I do like having distance on the second shot too. Here's Guardian. I'm going to switch over to Guardian for this one because I don't know what the wind's going to be like. I'd even like cat distance. But as you can see, my accuracy is just a little bit lacking. And you do want to be very precise with your second shot. If you're not very precise with the second shot, chances are you're not going to pull it off. So I am not going to switch over to Big Dog or Cataclysm. And that's going to be my big deciding factor as why not. But I do want to make a note that something with very little topspin isn't the most attractive wood either. So my Guardian being where it is isn't necessarily the best option either. So I got myself in a little bit of a decision to make. Because you want that topspin for this shot. In fact, my best club is probably Hammerhead because I have so much topspin on it. It looks like I have the full out attribute on a 5. But ideally, you don't want to use backspin, or you do want to use backspin and not have to rely on topspin. But it's nice to have both options. I'm just worried about that power number. The way that I set up my second shot is more of, you got to make sure you get your drive down there far enough, which means that you have to make sure that you don't put it in the rough. The best club here is Cataclysm, but do I want to forfeit that accuracy? That's the big decision. And I don't know what the wind is, so that makes the decision even harder. But aside from everything else, you do want to make sure that you put on, for instance, a good backspin short iron. Thorn or Claw are going to be the two that you're looking at. Probably won't need a wedge on this hole. Of course, rough iron and sand wedge, make sure they have some length for sure on this hole. And same with this tee shot. So you need to make sure that you have some length. In fact, you already see that I set up a Titan ball. For safety precautions, saving those snowman might be good for this hole as well. Let's just go in and have a look at the wind. And I'll make my decision. I might switch balls come expert division, for example, depending on the way that wind is straight down towards the hole. So with that wind, especially in expert division, you can go at this with a different approach as well. That's really not enough wind for this hole to do it, but you can get to that second fairway sometimes when you get headwinds as well. Tailwinds, sorry. So what we want to focus on here is the fairway foremost, um, which means usually you cannot overtop. Wow, how is my wind that much different than his? That's crazy. So what I usually do is I'll go at this a little bit more full and carry this over the bunker. And if you do, you need to worry about how much you top spin it. You can only use a little bit of top spin. So that's what you're going to see me do here, is set up to use very little of that, because the more you use, the more it runs out. And you see you do need to keep it aggressive on the left. You see I could have used just a little bit more. And now we're going to have more of a side wind for our second shot. But you can see where I put it. If you do up your top spin, you want to keep it between 2-3 bars, 4 at the most, and 4 is going to be conditionally. It's going to be about the way that it hits the mounds on the fairway, because well, even same with 3. I've had it to where it just runs out, and you see how mine just kind of checked up on its own. Now I do believe that I'm just going to be okay here, just barely. We'll see. Because ideally, you know, I don't play a top spin shot. Top spinning off this rough here can be very unreliable. So what you're going to see me do is I'm going to take it more up in here on a no backspin ball like this, and just try to hit it into the bulk of the fairway, up into this bulk, you know, with like a 6 or 7 ring adjustment. Just a little bit of curl. Now that pull might end up costing me, we'll see. But you see, you just hit it up into the center of the green and just let it kind of work towards the hole. And, you know, the full power approach, like I just did there, is more of the way that you want to do it to avoid the top spin. Because like I said, top spinning off that rough can be very unreliable. You want to avoid that shot and only use it as a last resort. And that's the reason that I bought Guardian, because it's nice to have it. And that's why I was, you know, debating about even using Guardian, because it didn't have it. But I brought it because I was like, well, I'll just make sure that I hopefully can, and that's why I have a Titan on as well. Make sure I have that full power, because I knew I was going to be, you know, maxing out to get into this green. Ooh, there's a nice try right there. Almost got that fairway eagle. So what I recommend, you know, especially if you're right up by the green, is just, you know, running it into the pin. Not gonna, as you can see, I'm playing under one ring of wind there for this dunk shot. It's really not going to move from the cup at all, so that's what I recommend. This green is very hilly, so it might not be worth the risking if you don't have the ability to dunk there. You want to be a little careful, because the green can be very shifty. So do be mindful of that, and make sure that you are playing to a nice flat spot with your aim. But if I get up there close, I'm not going to take any chances. I'm just going to run it into the center of the pin, basically. So there you have that hole. As you can see, you know, from the beginning, I had quite the decision to make. I was looking at about 4 different woods, so the best thing to do is just to, you know, execute your tee shot. Get it down there, even if you can get it down there a little bit farther than I did, but you also have to worry that if it, you know, sometimes it takes the fairway wrong and it'll just roll through it into the rough. So like I said, you know, 2-3 backspin or 2-3 topspin is kind of going to be your limit that you can safely do. And from there, it's just going to be, you know, a straight hop over the bunker like I did is the way that I recommend. It's a lot easier to do that shot than it is to do the topspin shot. So keep that in mind. And good luck with that hole. Be on the lookout for hole number 4. So see you on the next one. Good luck, guys.